For my professional experience, I set up my own freelance photography business and contacted my old school for a placement. Unfortunately, the agreement with my old school fell through due to internal issues. This just made me more determined to push further forward with my business. Through setting myself up as self-employed, I experienced the highs and lows of management. This included situations like networking, advertising, and workload. The experience of networking has mainly been a positive one. I have made contact through social media with aspiring models, makeup artists, and other photographers for help, advice, and support. I also use social media as a source of advertising and marketing in order to gain clientele. Working with clients was an interesting experience. I had the joy of working alongside some interesting people, and I also dealt with some very demanding and awkward clients. This also affected the workload. Some weeks I would have hardly any work come in, and others I would be rushed off my feet. This gave me experience in how freelance is never definite and will always vary. I was honestly surprised by the confidence I had when networking and how easily I was able to approach new people and ask for guidance or advice. The success of my business was another surprise. I began by advertising free photo shoot giveaways in order to gain experience, broaden my horizon, and soon enough other prospective clients were approaching me asking for prices and paying me for shoots. The more clients I photographed for, the better my editing became. I was surprised by the change in my editing style when I recently looked back at one of the first client shoots I did. I decided to re-edit a few of the images and the difference was so surprising. This goes to show that I have learnt and developed a variety of editing skills through working for my clientele. Being surprised by so much, I began to realise that I should be more confident and believe in my business and myself. I realised that I am capable of creating a successful business. As I mentioned earlier, I realised that my editing skills have improved dramatically through research and experimentation. Having clients explain the outcome that they are after helped aid my editing skills. I developed many other skills such as communication, confidence, technical, lighting, and the use of social media. Developing my skills in the area of social media helped develop the marketing of my business and the advertising of the #PicBod14 exhibition. I learnt that just having a business page on a social media site would not bring in any business. It is the interaction with others on the social media platform that will get the business name out there and engage the clientele. The awkward clients especially challenged my communication skills as I learnt in order to be seen as a professional, I had to keep calm and explain why certain things were not possible. Through working for many of my clients, my skills were challenged technically, especially when dealing with children in the studio. Alongside my business, I also fundraised and, along with my peers, held an exhibition to showcase our #PicBod14 work. But that was not the end. My peers and myself developed this into a newspaper in which I was a photo editor. Through fundraising and setting up an exhibition, I experienced the pressure of time constraints and working with a team of people. Holding an exhibition was an amazing experience, although up until the opening night we all had our doubts. But standing behind the bar, watching over 200 people flood into the room, I knew it had been a success. This led us to develop the #PicBod14 newspaper. During this process, I experienced what it's like to be a photo editor and the pressures and demands they must meet. Over the last 6 months, I've learnt so much about myself, how to run a business, and setting up an exhibition. I've highlighted most of my learning curves throughout. However, the more significant learning curves came from not practicing in my business, but from the research and admin phase. This phase of setting up my business has taught me about national insurance contributions and what they count towards, what records I need to keep in order to process my tax returns, how to complete my online assessment, and what I can claim as business expenses when working from home. Meanwhile, working for clients has enlightened me to the professional world in a different way. Through this, I've learnt to engage with my clients and prospective clients in order to gain their trust and custom. My next experience has already been put in place. I have weddings, christenings, a newborn shoot, and a photo booth all lined up for the rest of the year. Not only this, but I have also selected my Advantage module accordingly. The setting up a freelance business module will commence the next academic year to prepare me for when I graduate. This has been a very inspirational journey for me, and I am determined to make my business a success in the future.